What's up, people? I am back for another video. Today we are reviewing the Meg 2 Unmanned. The Meg 1, I'll admit it has been a while. It's been like almost pretty much since I watched it. Like the last time I watched it was around when it came out, which was 2018. So I think I might have watched it one other time. So yeah, it was in 2019. So about 4 years now. And I remember really liking it for like a newer shark movie. I was saying like I think this is probably the best shark movie since Deep Blue Sea. That was like to me, Deep Blue Sea was kind of like the last good shark. I mean, Open Water was decent, but I don't really look at that as a shark movie like that. Like I do, like obviously Jaws or it is a shark movie, but it's almost like I feel like the sharks is it's more of a survival movie. It just sharks just happen to be there. I don't look at it like a shark movie like that, but still a good movie. But I don't look at it as like a shark movie like I look at this one as a shark movie. Um, Only thing I don't like that it's PG-13. I think there's so many scenes. My God, if they went like all like Piranha, where it was R-rated, and like the blood trail, which is fine, it still works. But overall, I remember liking the first one. This one, I think, really continues that. There's only one element I don't like, where I'll just spoil it. Driscoll and Jess, who's like they're traders within like Jonas's team, and it was like I didn't need that element. I didn't need. I in general don't really like the whole trope of human bad guys in killer animal movies. To me, let the animals be the antagonist. I don't need humans and a human villain in there. It feels tacked on. It feels like you're over convoluting the plot. Let the creatures just be. Let them just go in the trench and then the creatures get out. That's kind of just what I wanted. Just keep it simple. You don't need the fucking human antagonist. To me, it was secondary. But aside from that, overall, I think Meg 2 really kind of continues the trend. I even like the little references to Jaws 2, you know, because it does feel like that a little bit, obviously. Like, even the way it starts, you have like kind of like a celebration. Um, this time there's three sharks, and then there's even a kraken, or I really more like a giant octopus. But you even get like because there's a movie called Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus, so they probably made a little callback to that. But it's still overall it maintains the tone. I thought the characters, Jonas's team, along with Ju Ming, who's Suyin's brother, who's uh, Jonas's ex-wife. Um, I like his daughter. I thought she was a good character. There's overall a really good dynamic with just the team in general. At least like that main team who was part of the events of the first movie. So they go into the trench. You even get like a cool beginning where it's like a prehistoric, where you see the Meg. Obviously, I don't think this would happen in reality. Meg would not be that close to shore, and I don't think Meg's hunted like T-Rexes, but whatever. It's cool. It's fine. It works. It's like, let's show the Meg being cool. It's one of those movies. I know going in, I'm not expecting fucking rocket science. I'm not expecting. Yeah, maybe the script probably doesn't really make sense, but it's fine. If you could just be dumb fun, and that's what this was. This very much was just that. The shark. I'm gonna be honest though. The CGI actually looked decent. The fact that the CGI in this looked better than the Flash. Obviously, there's not as much CGI. Like there really only is like the sharks and like the octopus. But for what it looked like, yeah, it looked decent. Didn't look great, but it looked all right. Um, I would definitely watch this again. I think it holds up as a sequel. I like Jonas's dynamic with his daughter. It's just nice to have like a good, just good characters, a good little team. It gave me Deep Blue Sea vibes a little bit too because there's a scene because Ju Ming raised a megalodon, which I kind of just like. We just kind of accept like, yeah, megalodons are just they live now. In captivity, so he even like trained it to like if he presses this button, it makes like a sound, and it like will go away and not try to kill him. So, and that comes into play later. The Megalodon, because the Megalodon that he is in captivity ends up while they're on a mission, frees itself, mates with another Megalodon that are in the trench. Then hell goes loose. All the creatures get loose. While this happens, Rogue members go turn on them and try to kill some of them. End up killing a few of the members so they can basically because Jess mainly wants revenge on Jonas. It's so this part of the film, like I said, I didn't really need the bad humans. You didn't need bad human characters for me. I'd rather just be them trying to kill the creatures. Let the creature, the sharks, and the kraken, and and all that. Let's focus on them. I'd rather watch them try to kill. I don't need a bad human character in these movies. That's my only real negative. But relatively, once we get past this part of the film, and they manage to escape, and the creatures go towards it's called like Fun Island, I think. And basically, when the creatures just kind of go all out and start killing people, that's when the film really lets loose. Then Jonas manages to kill one of the Megs, and they kill the other Meg. But then Ju-Ming manages to free the last one, which is the one that's in captivity, and it kind of goes, and they survive. So it's a decent sequel. I definitely recommend it. If you really like the first one, you're gonna like this one. It's dumb fun. It's only 2 hours, or a little bit short of 2 hours, but it's a fun little flick. I think the scene where the creatures let loose, like you get these little things called snappers, which you see them in the beginning of the movie. It was cool. You got them, so you got like a bunch of shit going on, but it's a fun flick. Like my main thing, why I like this one, is the team dynamic. Like they have chemistry. Like when they're just kind of bantering back and forth. And I like to see, that's why I like Deep Blue Sea partially, not just because of the sharks. I like the team. I thought they were great. So it was good in this. I like that they do reference actual shark movies like Jaws. Like that's the cool thing in this. So, like I said, overall love this one. Definitely recommend it. It's not, obviously, you got to know going in, it's not good. The script's probably not going to make sense. Obviously, there's so many things in it. You could, if I really wanted to, I could probably rip this movie apart. But if you just know going in, it's just a dumb shark movie, and that's what it is, and it gives you that. It's everything. That's why I knew going in, I guess, everything kind of what I wanted, and that's kind of what I hoped this was going to be. I knew going in, it's not going to be a genius written movie. Who cares? I just, as long as you give me a dumb shark movie that can, for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, yeah, and that's what this was. So I definitely would watch this like back to back with the first one. I think this one you could easily get, even though it's set several years later, but yeah. So Jason Statham continues to be a badass. Because like he was also in Operation Fortune earlier this year, so he's been in some good shit, and he's going to be in Expendables 4, which I hope that will be good. So if that is good, then yeah, he's been just having a decent year this year in terms of movies. He's had some good ones. So, like I said, I broke this down in 2 ways. If I'm being objective, it's more like a 7, but just because I really enjoyed it, I'm probably going to give it an 8, just because it's kind of what I needed this summer. I needed this kind of palate cleanser, especially after like the shit lately, like Mutant Mayhem, even going back to like fucking Little Mermaid, fucking Flash, Indy 5. Yeah, there was Mission Impossible, but then there was like kind of nothing after Mission Impossible for a little bit. I haven't seen Oppenheimer, so like for a while I was just all shit minus Mission Impossible. So to have something I needed something like this. Just was just something I could just, I guess if you want to call it turn your brain off kind of movie. I kind of needed that right now. So hopefully, and then before actually I get into the review, I watched another really good movie today, called Talk to Me, which was an Australian horror movie, which I kind of wanted to see, but my friend, who's a streamer, Mara, told me it's really good, so I figured I'll just go see it today, and it is really fucking good. It is probably my second favorite horror movie after nefarious, but I'm gonna review this one probably on. I think I'm gonna do it Tuesday, and then I'll just move Casino Royale to Wednesday. So that's probably how I'm gonna do it. But this one is really fucking good. This was no jump scares, kind of a somewhat original idea about like this hand that you touch, and you basically start seeing demons, and then it bleeds into your real life. I'm gonna go more into it tomorrow, but I just if I'm going just on like this was really good. So it's been nice to at least get some nice, decent movies. The last few, they obviously I think Talk to Me is on a different level than like the Meg, but you know. So hopefully next week comes, I'm gonna see a Voyage of the Demeter. Hopefully that's good, so we'll at least get some good movies coming here in a bit. Because man, yeah, it's just been some shit. So at least I have something like this as I needed it. And yeah, it was just a nice, dumb, fun shark movie. So that's all I needed. So it's not Jaws or even as good as like even Deep Blue Sea, but it was still a decent film. So all right, y'all. Let's get into the review. So we open with it starts off 65 million years ago. You see these little snappers eating, and then the T-Rex shows up, chases them into the ocean. Then the Meg shows up. Oh, because the T-Rex ends up killing one of them, and then the Megalodon kills it, which I thought that was cool. I thought that was just a cool little way to start the movie. Big time jump now in present day, set a couple years after the events of the first Meg. Jonas has been working with exploring the Mariana Trench with Ju Ming, who's Suyan's brother, along with his young daughter. So Ju Ming has been studying a Megalodon who's been in captivity. You get like this scene where I just love the chemistry between the two. Like it really, you believe that they've been working together for the last few years. That's why I think a big reason I like this movie is kind of the characters. Like, I mean, obviously, I will say this: they're not like the most. It's not like they're 10 out of 10 written characters, but it's just you get a little bit of character work here. It's not just it's a dumb shark movie, but you actually get a little bit of character work. It's not just sharks killing, which don't get me wrong, I'm all for, but that's kind of more what I was expecting. But I'm fine. I'm like that's a nice little welcome surprise. Oh, you're actually get some nice character work and like some nice banter. I like his little chemistry with his daughter. So So, they then explore the trench. This is where the survivors from the Mania one, which was the sub that got attacked by the Megalodon, the original movie, they bring DJ and Mac, who I actually thought they were some of the best characters in the movie, to be honest. So, explore the trench. While this goes on, they end up finding some minerals, and while this happens, Heike, that's the name of the I'm just gonna Heike, that's the name of the Megalodon that's in captivity, manages to free itself out of captivity and go into the trench. Because there's other two larger megs. So basically, you have three Megalodons. I love that is how you do a sequel, though. You make it bigger, you know. So they're like, okay, we're gonna bring in two Megalodons. So we're gonna have three Megalodons basically swimming around, and yeah, so they end up mating with Heike while this happens. A mining operation that's been going on separately because they're trying to get minerals for their own gain. This is where Montez is revealed to be one of the guys working for, I'll just spoil, Justin Driscoll. They're members of the crew who actually are working with that operation so they can get rid of the people. And they even, like, fuck with, like, the escape pods and stuff. This is also while this is going on, there we see the snappers are left alive from the beginning of the film, which I thought they were cool little, like, it was kind of like Jurassic Park, like a little bit, because they looked like dinosaurs, little dinosaurs. Um, but I I've seen some little bit of criticism that there was too many creatures. I didn't think there was. It was cool. I thought there was the right amount. I would have probably written up if I had to. I would have probably. Sorry about that. I would have done away with the snappers and just probably just had the Kraken and the sharks. But it's fine. The snappers were fine, like they were land antagonists, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be doing shit on land too. So I understand what they were going for. They figured, let's have a creature that can go on land. So it didn't bother me personally. Um, Jess, who's has a vendetta against Taylor, um, and they basically try to kill everybody, but so Driscoll ends up sending mercenaries to kill the people while. So yeah, basically they have to try to get out while this happens. Jess manages to ends up getting killed. Pretty brutal out. That's what that's the GIF I used for Twitter when I talked about doing this video. Was yeah, you see the shark just like burst through the window and grab her. So I thought, like, okay, that was cool. Like, there's little cool kills, but I could have done without the human antagonist. I didn't really need that. I felt like be a dumb shark movie. Don't overcomplicate the plot with like this. We have this extra human. I don't know if they felt like you needed like a human antagonist, but this be a dumb shark. That's why the first one worked. There wasn't a human antagonist, and if there was, if I don't remember, if there was, it was not that big of a role. Just be a dumb shark movie. Let the shark be an antagonist. You don't need a human. That's why Jaws worked. There wasn't some. You could somewhat argue the mayor, but I don't look at him as a true. He's not an antagonist. He just made some dumb decisions. There wasn't like an antagonist, like a human one. They understood. They understood. Let's just have it be the shark. And I think that's what this one should have been. And the creatures in general. Like, you didn't need the human antagonist. I thought, to me, you're just kind of overcomplicating the plot. That's what I felt like when I was watching this. I'm not going to necessarily use it as a negative to where I'll bring the film down, because it's only a little section of the movie, and maybe they felt like you needed a human antagonist and not just give you creature shit, but they should have just let it be creature shit. In general, that's always been a pet peeve of mine in creature movies. Any kind where they just throw random human antagonists. And Jurassic Park's like the only exception where it works. Every other time, to me, let the animal or creature be the antagonist. I don't need some human antagonist thrown in there. That's why, like, Dog Soldier, I like that movie, but that was even a criticism I have a little bit against that movie. I didn't need the human bad guys in there. I just felt like let it just be the creatures. So I'm just gonna skip to the part where they get out. This is where the Meg starts killing people. Yeah, the Meg start getting out and start killing. The crew basically gets back together, and the lizards start attacking people on land. So I get what they were trying to do, because you can't just do every scene in the water. So they figured like having a land creature, but I can understand if you did. They weren't necessary. So Taylor goes and uses a jet ski to kill one of the. He kills one of the Megs with a harpoon with an explosive, and then tries to kill another one. And we get some cool chase scenes in the water while the other crew have to try to get away from these creatures. So Montez has a fight with Jonas. So that's where I was like, I didn't really need that. It made for a cool scene though, because fucking Jonas kicks Montez in the fucking water, and then the Meg like grabs him. Like, so that was cool. Jonas manages to kill another Meg, but while this happens, a giant octopus shows up, kills a couple people, which that was cool. Takes down a helicopter. We get kind of a cool callback. Um, I've never actually seen this movie, but it's called Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. That's why they had that in there. Meg kills the Kraken. That's what it's because it's an octopus. Then Taylor uses one of the helicopter blades to kill it. Then Ju-Ming uses that sound thing to basically manage to make Heike kind of get his attention away, and it swims off while everybody celebrates. And they mention that she's basically pregnant. So basically, they're hinting at a third film. I'm open if they want to do a Meg 3. I'm honestly open to it if they can keep the same cast. My only thing, if they do a Meg 3, no human villain, please. And if you do one, make it kind of like a Nedry, or where it's more like they do something that kind of can get everybody killed, but an unknowing one. You don't need some human bad guy maneuvering the plot. Let it just be the sharks fucking shit up. That's kind of what I'd rather watch. That's why Deep Blue Sea worked. There wasn't like a human bad guy in it. It was the shark. They had to try to survive with the sharks. And I think that's kind of what I wanted. And besides that little element of the movie, I really like this one. The team dynamic was great. I really like the creature stuff. I thought just the dynamic with the daughter, who I thought she was cool. She had her own little arc going on, or stepdaughter, but still. Mei Ying had her own little thing going on. But it was nice to have a daughter, and even though she was stepdaughter, but still father element where it wasn't like this angsty daughter shit. It was kind of nice to have a nice change from that. That's kind of nice to have a break from that. So overall, I like this movie. Dumb fun. If you fucking look too much into it, the plot isn't great, but it's fine. I don't care that you don't really know shit about the trench. They don't really let you know what the trench is. It's just there. It exists. Whatever. I'm fine with that. So, 8 out of 10 for me. Though, if I'm being really objective, is more like a 7. But I'm gonna give it an 8. The first one is probably a better film, but this one I like too. So I've definitely watched this in the first and the first one and this one back to back. So. Tomorrow, I'm going to put together my 1997 list. I can't wait to do that. Then Tuesday, I'll review Talk to Me, and then we'll do Casino Royale on Wednesday. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to talk to y'all later. Cheers. Meg Do is definitely a recommendation, but it's not what I would say you have to see. I mean, if you just want to set aside a little bit of time and you want to see just kind of a dumb shark movie, but it's still a fun little flick, Megalodon kills some people movie, I would definitely say go see this one. But other than that, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.